Mr. Barletta.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Dr. Aldrich, in your testimony you described how you were concerned about how SBIR awards are concentrated in certain regions of the country. Do you know what regions of the country have the highest concentration of SBIR program award recipients?
The Bay Area.
Why do you think this is the case?
Because that's where the supply of ideas, the potential of for translational research is the greatest in the country.
And how do you think we can increase the number of SBIR awards outside of that region?
I think by, and this has come up in the discussion, by increasing the information about the program is exactly what the Chairman asked in his introductory remarks. I think as we get away from these very successful clusters of SBIR, there's much less familiarity, awareness that the program exists. So I think that there's a big opportunity to increase the participation in the SBIR simply by through information, by trying to get that message out there.
Thank you. Ms. Frick, I understand that sometimes when the National Institute of Health starts doing research on one disease, they find that treatments for this disease can be useful in treating others. In your opinion, how often does this occur, and how important is the SBIR operation of the National Institute of Health in finding treatments for a wide variety of diseases?
I can't give you an accurate answer on how often a particular compound or treatment moves to another disease. In fact, NIH's primary portfolio is basic research, and in spite of the growth that it's experiencing right now into the area of translational research, I think basic research is still its primary function, and 60% of its budget goes towards basic research. So that would be research that, in the neurological area, for example, could be you learn something that's relevant to Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, MS, Huntington's. I think that it's fundamental, though, that SBIR and other translational programs continue to be promoted at NIH in order for us to be able to benefit from the basic research that NIH does fund. Our primary problem is getting discoveries, potential discoveries, bright ideas, but we've got a long way to go to figure out if they're going to go anywhere, getting them through that valley of death to a point where the larger companies are willing to pick it up, and that's exactly the role for biomedical research that NIH SBIR fills.
Like you, I'm concerned about the dramatic shift away from private investment funds in biomedical research over the past few years. In your testimony, you argue that the lack of appeal for investors may either occur because biomedical research takes a long time to complete, or because the size of the potential markets for certain diseases like Parkinson's are too small. In addition to reauthorizing the SBIR program, what else can members of Congress do to provide incentives for private investors to invest in biomedical research?
Well, that's certainly an interesting question. There could be tax credit options, some of which I know are being discussed now. But aside from SBIR, the National Institutes of Health is going through a process right now that you may be familiar with of creating a new institute at NIH, the NCATS Institute, that will consolidate the other translational research that's going on at NIH to allow for more efficient and coordinated promotion of translational research. And we hope to look at some of the hurdles that cross multiple diseases. A good example is blood-brain barrier, which is significant in Parkinson's, but by no means unique to Parkinson's. And I think what we need to look at, in our experience, translational research has been almost a second-class form of research, that it's about product development and therapy development, not necessarily the gaining of further knowledge. And we think whatever the NIH and Congress's support of that, what we can do to promote the significance of translational research so that public dollars are used to bring ideas or therapies to the point where private can pick them up. That's really what we need to do, and NIH seems to be the most logical place to do that. So I would say support for the NIH movement that we've seen last year and this year towards promoting translational research within its current budget is very important.
Thank you.